Bears Mock Draft 22.0 coming up. And speaking of the draft, we are just over 2 weeks away. I cannot wait. We're going to be live for all 3 rounds. Can we get to 91,000 subs this week? I would love to get there tomorrow. We're 188 away. We appreciate all the love and support. We're covering this team, the Chicago Bears, on a daily basis. News, rumors, draft coverage, free agency signings, if any more come in. We aren't going to miss a beat. YouTube.com/BearsNow. Go ahead and subscribe. Bears Now is presented by Manscaped. If you want the best men's grooming products on the planet, go to Manscaped. I've been using them for years. Different products, different areas of your body, and hey, you are going to be pleased. Use code BEARS20 to get 20% off at manscaped.com. All right, let's dive into my latest mock draft 22.0. Going to try to get to 25 before the NFL draft on April 25th. So let's dive into it. And look, it's just not going to change because we know what's going to happen at the top. Caleb Williams, round 1, pick number 1. It's a formality at this point in time. I could continue to rehash the reasons why. The Bears like him. They've done extensive research. He's talented, yada, yada, yada. They feel like he can lead. He's going to be the pick. So unless some new evidence comes in between now and the draft that suggests they could go in a different direction, I'm not going to change it because I feel like it's a waste of an exercise at that point. So Caleb Williams, the top pick, not going to spend too much time there. Da-da-da, da-da-da, trade alert. And this is a typo from producer Jack Lotteray. We'll fix this on the fly. The Vikings come calling. They only get pick 9. 23 is their pick. There we go. Got that fixed for you guys. Listen, this could be a wild scenario. 9 to Minnesota for 11 and 23. And in a vacuum, that is a major premium from Minnesota. But you know what? If they want a quarterback that desperately, and in this mock draft, only 3 quarterbacks went in the top 8, which it feels like 4 are going to go, but there's a chance one of them slides. Remember last year, Will Levis, and he didn't go till the second round. This would be a bold move by Ryan Poles to trade with Minnesota and say, hey, we acknowledge that you're going to be able to draft a quarterback here, but to move down 2 spots and pick up 23, that's pretty enticing. And I'll add this as well. The top 3 receivers were all gone. So was Joe Alt. Which is why one of the quarterbacks fell. Listen, it's got to be a big premium if I'm going to consider it. I'd say 2 first-round picks to move up 2 slots is a pretty big premium. So I'll ask you, because I was on the fence here. Would you make this trade if it means helping Minnesota? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I honestly would, and they did end up taking JJ McCarthy, and here's why. Because I am not of the belief, especially in the short term, but even long term, that JJ McCarthy is going to be a major problem in this division. Now, could I be wrong? Could he end up being awesome? Producer Jack's a huge JJ fan. Some people are, and that's fine. But he doesn't strike the fear in me. And if I could take 2 firsts off their hands to move down 2 spots, I might just be willing to do it. So what I do at pick number 11, I contemplated a second trade down, but I ended up taking Jared Verse, the edge, out of Florida State. My gut tells me that the Bears like him the most of the big 3 edge rushers, which is Verse, Dallas Turner, and Laiatu Latu. Turner, I think, fits better in a 3-4, although I do think he could play in a 4-3. He's a freaky athlete. We know we brought him in. Turner, who's been consistent, he's been productive. I think he fits the bill more of a 4-3 defensive end. I think his story and his work ethic and his kind of hits principle mentality, which the Bears deploy, would fit in well on this defensive line. He's definitely a hustle guy. I mean, former JUCO kid that ended up at Florida State. I could see the vision of putting him opposite of Montez Sweat and having him learn and develop on this defense. You look at his relative athletic score, he's just under 6'4". He's over 250 pounds. He's got pretty long arms, tested well in the speed and explosion area, which we know the Bears value as well. He just feels like a Flus guy, big hands too. Like, we know those measurements matter at a lot of these positions, and those testing numbers matter. So if you could trade down to get this guy, move down a few spots and still land him, I think the Bears would be very enticed to do that. And again, remember, you have the 23rd pick as well coming up after trading down with Minnesota. But we're not going to pick at 23. We're going to move down a few more spots because I'll be honest, I was hoping Brian Thomas would be there. He went at 22 to the Philadelphia Eagles. So we're going to move down a few more spots from 23 to 27, pick up a third-round pick as well, number 90 overall. And so all of a sudden I've turned the 9th pick into, an extra first and an extra third here. So I think that's pretty good overall. And coming up, we're going to take a look at the Bears pick at number 27 and beyond. We'll go through the rest of the mock draft as well. But I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you about our sponsor. That is Manscaped. Listen, you got to shave your balls. You got to keep your body nice and trimmed and clean. It's not just your beard, which check out the Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped. Little side plug there as well. But the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is going to keep you nice and trimmed down below. It features 2 interchangeable skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade to go smooth and sleek. It comes with dual LED spotlights as well, where you'll achieve better visibility, making every trim more precise and hassle-free. By the way, you don't like making a mess, you don't want to have to do a little cleanup after, this thing's waterproof. You can use it in the shower, the bath. Hell, if I'm going to the beach this weekend, I might go do this in the ocean. Go check out the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. You can also get it as a part of a bundle as well. The Performance Package, which comes with other products. I'm a big fan of the Beard Hedger also. If you're a beard guy out there, go check that out. The best men's grooming products out there are from Manscaped. And in the month of April, they're doing something cool as well. They have partnered with the Testicular Cancer Society to help spread awareness for men's health and early cancer detection because it is National Testicular Cancer Awareness Month. Head over to manscaped.com/TCS to learn more and to check yourself. And again, if you're looking to buy products, promo code BEARS20 at manscaped.com. Go check out both links to stay informed on the cancer awareness and to go check out their products. Manscaped.com, promo code BEARS20. Both those links and the promo code will be in the description of this video. All right, so we're still going to get our big-time receiver here at 27. That is Adonai Mitchell, the wide receiver out of Texas, who, listen, this guy has big-time potential, man. The raw stats aren't incredible, although they're pretty productive. 55 catches, over 15 yards a catch, had 11 touchdowns, just 1 drop. He's got some of the strongest hands in this class, and he's a true X receiver, man, which I think ideally is what you would get. Now, would I rather have Rome Odunze? Yes, but Jared Verse and Adonai Mitchell, if Odunze's not there at 9, that's a pretty damn good recovery as well. He's very talented. I was listening to Josh Lucas, former player of, I think, scouting director of personnel for the Bears under Ryan Pace. He hopped on Hogan Johns maybe a month ago or so. I was listening to this. Go check them out. They do a great job. He called Mitchell a top 10 player in this class based on talent. He said there's some off-field things he's heard. He didn't really exactly hear what those are, but if those aren't major and you can get him in the 20s, this guy has wide receiver 1 potential in the NFL. And look, I think a safe bet he's a wide receiver 2 as long as nothing off the field pops up in his career. So you bring him in here, he's your X, he's your number 3 as a rookie. Whew, I think at 27 overall, that value is tremendous. He tested very well at the NFL Combine. All right, let's get to the take a chance portion of this mock. Round 3, pick number 75. Devondre Sweat arrested for a DWI on Sunday. More details were emerging on Monday. It was almost at 5 a.m. in an Escalade. Just a mess. Look, this is going to hurt his stock. There's no question. I think this is a round 2 player that probably will drop to round 3 now, just because of the timing of this. Because, look, teams don't like to mess around with this stuff. Now, our team's going to take a chance? Of course they are. He's supremely talented, and luckily for him, no one got killed. If that happened, he'd be done. It'd be over. But I'm a believer in second chances. If the Bears bring this guy in and feel comfortable, if he's there at 75, I would probably take a chance. Last year the Bears did not think Jalen Carter at number 9 was worth the risk based on where they were in their rebuild. I think where they are now, the upward trajectory, and the fact that this would be 3rd round 75 versus number 9 overall, I think you could take the risk if you felt comfortable after meeting with him, which I hope the Bears do meet with him after this incident and try to figure out, what they can, not only about this situation, but him overall. The potential of him and Andrew Billings as your pairing at nose tackle is unbelievable. I mean, you want to talk about just two bullies. He can learn under Billings, a guy who's been there. He could be a mentor to him on and off the field as well. Billings has had to earn it the hard way, being a former, I think, fourth-round pick. He's bounced around before settling here in Chicago. Sweat's got untapped potential. He's got decent pass rush ability at his size, which is 360 pounds. Again, not signing off on what he did whatsoever. He deserves punishment. I think he's going to be punished by where he falls in the draft. I don't think he'll go top 2 rounds now, but I think in the 3rd round could be worth the risk. Someone's going to take him. I'm not saying the Bears have to. I would understand if they didn't, but if he's there at 75, it fills a position of need and potentially a big reward if they hit on that selection. Now, would you take the chance on T'Vondre Sweat? Type 1 for yes or 0 for no. I think I would in the 3rd round or later. I definitely wouldn't do it in the 1st. I don't think he's a 1st-round player anyway. I don't think I'd do it in the 2nd if I ended up with the 2nd-round pick. But I think in the 3rd round, I'd take a swing here. 1 for yes, 0 for no. Let me know what you guys think. Round 3, pick 90 in that other trade down we picked up. Mason McCormick, a player we haven't talked about out of South Dakota State. He's an intriguing player, man. He played strictly left guard in college, but you look at his PFF grades last year, absolutely fantastic. No sacks, just 3 hurries. Obviously, he's playing FCS level, so, the jumping competition is there. But kind of feel like the Bears are an ideal landing spot for him because he would not need to start. He could just be a backup, get stronger, that NFL strength, and kind of go through a year, be a redshirt guy, learn, and then, as we've talked about on prior shows, Tevin Jenkins and Nate Davis's future beyond this year are unknown. Jenkins is a free agent after this year if he doesn't get an extension. Davis's deal, he's under contract through next year, but they can cut him with little penalty. McCormick is a 3-year starter at left guard, and what's interesting about him, too, he's got almost 34-inch arms. He's got long enough arms to potentially give you some snaps at tackle, so maybe at worst, he's one of your top backup linemen, and at best, he's a future starter. I think just inside the top 100, that checks out. So I would certainly like to add some depth to this offensive line, and he could be a player that fits that billing. And then one of my personal favorites, I'll be honest, I don't think he falls this far, but if he does, it's a home run. Ben Sinnott, the tight end out of Kansas State. He just, something clicked in 2022. I watched him play in person twice against my alma mater, TCU, and he had big games both times, had a one-handed touchdown. He's got incredible ball skills. He's a willing blocker, both as a tight end and as like an H-back fullback, so you could use him in different roles. I just love Ben Sinnott. I think you bring him in here. He's your 3rd tight end as a rookie. He can play that fullback role, too. You could cut Kari Blasingame if you wanted to. I'm not saying you have to, but you could if you crunch numbers, and that saves you a roster spot in your 53. He could be your fullback. I really like his potential, and I've heard some draft experts say he could be the 2nd tight end off the board. Now, that's a little rich for me. I like Jatavion Sanders better out of Texas, but 3rd or 4th tight end, yeah, I could absolutely see that. There's no question about it. So there you go, our latest Bears mock draft 22.0. Caleb Williams, no surprises there. Trade down a couple of spots, get Jared Verse, Adonai Mitchell as well after another trade down. You get T'Vondre Sweat, obviously boomer bust, kind of gamble there. Mason McCormick at 90, and then Ben Sinnott, the tight end out of Kansas State in round 4. Turn 4 picks into 6 and still fill a lot of needs. Grade this mock draft A, B, C, D, or F for the Chicago Bears as they continue to take their draft visits, fill out their big board, and before you know it, the draft is going to be here, and we're going to have it all covered here on Chicago Bears Now. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and don't miss out with everything surrounding the Bears.